In the beginning of the drama, the male lead, Do-jin, has come to the police university to give an interview to become a police officer. On the other side, the female lead, Jae-yi, comes to audition for a role in a movie, but the director doesn't like her act. Jae-yi asks the director for one more chance, and the director agrees. In the next scene, the officers interview Do-jin and ask, "You have many wounds on your body. What happened?" Do-jin says, "They're not that serious. Last night, I got a cut on my face because of some drunk people." Jae-yi is given a script, and she starts acting according to it, but she gets scared seeing the word psychopath in the script and is unable to act properly. An officer asks, "Did an incident ever happen to you that was related to the police?" Do-jin says, "Yes, it did." In a flashback, an officer asks, "Do-jin, did you see the criminal's face?" Do-jin says, "I couldn't see his face, but I know who he is." The officer asks, "Tell me, who is he?" Do-jin says, "He is my dad." In the present, that same officer who was asking about the criminal is also in the interview. Do-jin says to that officer, "Was I right? We met at the police station and you wrote down my testimony." In the next scene, Jae-yi is not selected. The director tells Jae-yi, "Your mom was a very good friend of mine. You won't get a role in this drama, but some of my friends are working on another drama. I will recommend you. You will get work there if you want." Jae-yi says, "Okay, please recommend me. I will work very hard." Do-jin comes out after giving the interview, and upon seeing Jae-yi's photo on a screen, tears well up in his eyes. 9 years ago, Jae-yi is going home with her mom and dad. On the way, Jae-yi's dog barks at a child. Those children are Do-jin and his sister. The little girl gets scared by the dog's barking. Jae-yi scolds the dog and tells her dad to reverse the car. Her dad reverses the car, and Jae-yi apologizes to Do-jin. But Do-jin and Jae-yi just keep looking at each other. In the next scene, Do-jin comes to meet his mom, and his mom says to him, "Why have you come here? You should focus on your studies and go back home." Do-jin takes his sister and goes home. Do-jin's dad comes to a lady's house to fix a pipe. After fixing the pipe, Do-jin's dad comes to the lady with a hammer and looks at her in a strange way. In the next scene, Jae-yi's family has newly shifted, so everyone is unpacking their things. Do-jin is having dinner with his family. Just then, news plays on the TV that a lady has been brutally murdered. Seeing this news, Do-jin's dad smiles and starts eating his food. The next day is Jae-yi's first day at school. Jae-yi is wearing fashionable clothes instead of the uniform, so the teacher scolds her and doesn't let her go inside. Just then, Do-jin arrives there. Jae-yi is surprised to see Do-jin because she had met him yesterday. Do-jin comes to help Jae-yi, but he also gets caught. The teacher tells him to run 10 laps of the ground as well. Jae-yi gets tired after running 10 laps. Do-jin asks Jae-yi, "What happened?" Jae-yi says, "You got into trouble because of me. Aren't you angry at me?" Do-jin says, "If you're tired, I will complete them." They both start running again, but Jae-yi falls. Do-jin says, "Are you okay?" Jae-yi says, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm acting." And she starts pretending to be unconscious. The teacher quickly comes to Jae-yi and tells Do-jin, "Put her on my back." Do-jin says, "I'll carry her," and he lifts Jae-yi and carries her away. In the next scene, Jae-yi comes to the class, and Do-jin is surprised to see that she is going to study in his class. The teacher tells Jae-yi to sit with Do-jin. Jae-yi becomes happy and says to Do-jin, "We met again. I'm happy to meet you. You helped me today. I want to give you a treat." Do-jin says, "There's no need for that," and he isn't looking at Jae-yi. So Jae-yi says, "Are you angry? You got into trouble because of me." Do-jin says, "No." Jae-yi says, "Do I talk too much, and you like to study alone, and I sat with you? Is that why you're upset?" Do-jin says, "No." Jae-yi says, "If that's not the case, then why aren't you looking at me? Don't you like me?" Do-jin says, "No, it's not like that." Jae-yi stands in front of Do-jin and says, "Oh, so you have a one-sided love for me, because I am very beautiful." Do-jin just keeps looking at Jae-yi. In the next scene, Do-jin's dad is on his way home when Jae-yi's dog comes in front of his car. Do-jin's dad approaches the dog, and it starts barking. At night, Jae-yi sees that her dog is not at home, so she looks around. Jae-yi finds the dog's name tag. Jae-yi thinks the dog might have gone to the house across the street, so she goes near the house and asks, "Is anyone home?" But no one answers. Just then, she hears her dog barking. Following the sound, Jae-yi goes into the house's basement and finds the dog locked in a cage, and next to it, Do-jin is standing with a hammer. Jae-yi is shocked to see Do-jin. Just then, Do-jin's dad says to Jae-yi, "Who are you? And how did you get in here?" Jae-yi gets scared seeing them and falls down. Do-jin's dad asks, "What did you come here for?" Jae-yi says, "My dog is lost, and I found his name tag outside this house." Do-jin's dad says, "Your dog is lost, but you shouldn't have just barged into someone's house like this." Jae-yi gets scared by these words. So Do-jin says to his dad, "She is my friend. She is my first friend at school." Do-jin asks Jae-yi, "Is this your dog?" Jae-yi says, "Yes, it's my dog." Do-jin breaks the lock of the cage and lets the dog out. Do-jin's dad doesn't like it, but he smiles and tells them both to go outside. Do-jin holds Jae-yi's hand and leads her outside. Do-jin's dad says, "I didn't know you were Do-jin's friend. I shouldn't have said all those things to you. It was quite dark, and the name tag was missing. And it was raining too. I felt sorry for him and brought him to my home." Jae-yi asks, "Why did you lock him in a cage?" Do-jin's dad says, "The dog bit me, so I locked him in the cage so that he wouldn't bite me again." Jae-yi says, "I'm sorry. I'll tell my dad so that it doesn't happen again." Do-jin's dad asks, "Do you live right here?" Jae-yi says, "Yes, we shifted here yesterday." Do-jin's dad says, "I didn't know my son had such a lovely girlfriend." Do-jin says, "Dad, I'll drop her off. I know where she lives." Do-jin goes to drop Jae-yi home. Jae-yi's brother is at school. Do-jin's brother also studies at the same school. Do-jin's brother hits a boy, and Jae-yi's brother sees him and calls an ambulance because the boy who was beaten was quite injured. Jae-yi tries to talk to Do-jin, but Do-jin doesn't say anything. Jae-yi sees a wound on Do-jin's hand, which he got while breaking the cage's lock. Jae-yi takes Do-jin to a tree, sits him down, and ties a handkerchief on his hand, asking him, "Are you in pain?" Do-jin says, "No, I'm fine." Do-jin says to Jae-yi, "Don't ever come to my house again and forget whatever happened today, and act as if we don't know each other." Jae-yi says, "Okay, if that's what you want, I will forget everything. I won't even go near your house. But I can't forget you, because I like you." Hearing this, Do-jin is surprised. Jae-yi says, "Aren't you going to ask me why I like you? You seem as strong as a tree to me. I don't know why, but I like you. And even if you say you don't like me, I will still keep liking you." Then they both go to Jae-yi's house. In the next scene, Do-jin's clothes are soaked from the rain, so Do-jin is wearing Jae-yi's brother's clothes. Jae-yi's mom applies medicine to Do-jin's hand and puts on a bandage. Jae-yi sits next to Do-jin, and Jae-yi's mom says, "You are making Do-jin feel uncomfortable. Sit a little distance away." Jo-yi says, "Why? We are both friends, and I've already told Do-jin that I like him." Jae-yi's mom starts to smile hearing this. When Do-jin is about to go home, Jae-yi's entire family comes to see him off at the door. As Do-jin is going home, Jae-yi's brother sees his clothes on Do-jin and understands that he is Jo-yi's friend. So he says to Do-jin, "You two spend time together. From today on, don't make me worry about her." In the next scene, Do-jin comes home, and his dad sees that Do-jin is wearing someone else's clothes and has something in his hand. Dad says to Do-jin, "Do you remember what I told you? You are quite smart. You must remember the difference between people like us and the dog I saved." Do-jin says, "There is no difference. We are both animals." Do-jin's dad starts to smile and says, "You're right, humans are also animals who depend on others. What happened today should never happen again. Never go into my basement without my permission. If you don't listen to me, I will get angry, understand?" Do-jin says, "Yes, I understand." In Do-jin's room, there is a hammer on the table. Looking at it, Do-jin remembers his dad's words, that if there's something you can't get rid of, he will do it, and he will rid you of useless things that can put you in danger. Do-jin remembers Jae-yi's family and thinks, "Those people are so nice," and he drops the hammer because he is scared of what his dad had said. "Whatever makes you weak and vulnerable, I will rid you of it." The next day in the canteen, Do-jin gets his food but doesn't see Jae-yi. Jae-yi gets her food and sits next to Do-jin, saying, "Are you ignoring me?" Do-jin says, "I'm not ignoring you." Jae-yi says, "You're lying." And holding Do-jin's hand, she says, "How is your wound?" Do-jin says, "What are you doing? Other students are watching." Jae-yi says, "So what? Can't friends even hold hands? I was just looking at your wound. You are behaving very rudely." Do-jin's mom is working at a hotel. A lady tells Do-jin's mom that her husband is having an affair with someone. Do-jin's mom starts fighting with that lady and begins to suspect that her husband is really having an affair. The police come to investigate Jae-yi's brother, about the boy who was beaten by Do-jin's brother. At night, a lady is waiting for the bus at a bus stand. Just then, Do-jin's dad arrives and says to the lady, "Come on, I'll drop you." The lady refuses the lift, which Do-jin's dad doesn't like, and he knocks the lady unconscious and puts her in his car. Do-jin's mom comes to her old house to find out about her husband because he spends most of his time there. The house gate is locked, but she sees her husband inside, holding a lady's bag and lady's clothes. So Do-jin's mom climbs over the gate into the house and starts watching secretly. She sees her husband burning the lady's clothes and bag, and there is blood on his face. Scared, Do-jin's mom runs away from there. The next day, Do-jin comes to school, and Jae-yi is sleeping while listening to music, and there is medicine on Do-jin's desk for him to apply. Do-jin feels very nice about this. Sunlight is falling on Jae-yi's face, so Do-jin puts his hand in front of Jae-yi's face. In the present, Do-jin has been at the police university for 2 years and is giving a lecture. An officer is talking about Do-jin's dad's case, how many murders he committed, and now he is serving his sentence in jail. In the past, Do-jin's mom packs her things and is about to leave with her daughter. Then Do-jin arrives and asks his mom, mom. Where are you going? Do-jin's mom says, if you tell your dad about this, we will both die. Do-jin's sister doesn't want to leave him, so her mom says, please let us go. You have the same man's blood in you. You will become like him too. What is your sister's fault in this? Why should she live as a murderer's daughter? Just then, Do-jin's dad passes by, so his mom hides. When Do-jin's dad leaves, Do-jin says to his mom, hurry up. I will pretend that I haven't seen you two since morning and as quickly as possible go far away from here where dad can't find you. Do-jin's sister doesn't want to go and starts crying. Do-jin says, wherever you stay, listen to mom. I will always protect you. Go with mom. We will meet soon. Do-jin thanks his mom for taking care of him, so his mom gets emotional and leaves. Do-jin's dad finds out that his wife has left home with his daughter, and he gets very angry. The next day, Do-jin is sitting under a tree when Jae-yi comes and says to Do-jin, you seem very calm today, but there's a lot going on in your mind. I can read your face. Do-jin starts looking at Jae-yi with love. So Jae-yi says, now, looking at you, it seems you like me. Am I right? Do-jin says, yes, you are right. Jae-yi is surprised and says, do you really like me? I was just kidding. Do-jin says, Jae-yi, you said you like me, and I am like a tree to you. I feel the same way. You are like a paradise to me. That's why I like you. Jae-yi is happy. Do-jin starts to cry, so Jae-yi asks, why are you crying? Do-jin says, I'm sorry. Jae-yi says, for what? Do-jin says, for liking you. In the present, thinking about all these things, tears come to Do-jin's eyes, and when he comes out of his room, a book with his dad's photo is lying outside, on which is written, I'm not unlike you. In the next scene, Do-jin's mom has opened her own hotel, and it is doing well. Two reporters come to ask Do-jin's mom about her husband, and Do-jin's mom shoos them away. Jae-yi is getting coffee from a coffee shop when it is reported on the TV news. Serial killer Yoon Hui has released his autobiography, in which he has written about his crimes. Jae-yi gets scared seeing Do-jin's dad in the news. Do-jin is training when he gets a call from his sister. After that, Do-jin goes to his room, and his dad's book is lying outside. Do-jin takes the book and comes to the cafeteria and tries to read the book, but he doesn't have the courage, so he throws the book away. In the past, Jae-yi's mom and dad were murdered, so the police are taking Jae-yi and her brother. Seeing Do-jin sitting alone, Jae-yi asks them to stop the car. Jae-yi hugs Do-jin and starts crying. In the present, Do-jin remembers that Jae-yi had said, whatever the case is and whatever happens in the future, I will still like you. Jae-yi arrives late for a drama shoot, so the officer doesn't let her in. But after convincing the officer when the shooting is over, reporters ask Jae-yi and the drama's main actress questions. A reporter asks Jae-yi about Yoon Hui. What do you have to say about Yoon Hui's autobiography? As a victim's family, you must have been shocked. How was the book published? How are you feeling? Jae-yi gets flustered hearing all this and starts to leave. She falls due to nervousness. The reporter starts asking questions again. Jae-yi gets up but is about to fall again when Do-jin catches her. In the past, Do-jin's dad is presented in court. When Do-jin comes to court, reporters start asking him questions. Do-jin doesn't say anything. Just then, Jae-yi and her brother arrive, and the reporters start asking them questions, which scares Jae-yi. Do-jin doesn't like seeing this, so Do-jin says to the reporters, ask me. What do you want to know? Reporters start asking Do-jin questions, and Do-jin answers them. Jae-yi understands that Do-jin did all this to save her from the reporters. In the present, Do-jin tells the reporters to turn off their cameras and recorders. Jae-yi recognizes Do-jin upon seeing him and faints. Do-jin picks up Jae-yi and takes her to the medical room. The doctor checks Jae-yi and tells them this happened due to stress, otherwise she is fine. Jae-yi is feeling cold, so Do-jin drapes his coat over her. In the past, Do-jin's dad had killed Jae-yi's mom and dad and is talking to Jae-yi. Jae-yi is terrified. Do-jin's dad is wearing a mask and asks Jae-yi, did you recognize me? Jae-yi says, no. So Do-jin's dad says, you don't know? Then should I let you go? How can I believe that you're telling the truth? I can't let you go. Stop crying. I'll send you to your mom and dad. He is about to kill Jae-yi. Just then, Do-jin arrives and his dad stops. Jae-yi says to Do-jin, please run away from here. Do-jin says to his dad, I have called the police and they will be here in 10 minutes, and he has also given the door code. Do-jin hugs Jae-yi and says to his dad, I'm very good at taking a beating. I can last for 10 minutes. Do you want to test me? Do-jin's dad says, let's see. Jae-yi gets very scared and says to Do-jin, run away from here. In the next scene, in the present, Jae-yi regains consciousness and asks her manager about Do-jin. The manager says, Who Do-jin? Jae-yi sees that Do-jin's coat is with her, so she starts going to look for Do-jin. The reporters wanted to talk to Do-jin. Do-jin takes them aside and says, "If you want to ask about Yoon-hwae's autobiography, I don't want to talk about it." The reporter says, "What is your relationship with Jae-yi? 9 years ago, you both were at the murder scene." Do-jin says to the reporter, "Do you believe what Yoon-hwae wrote?" The reporter says, "Not everything, but some of it could be true, like his mom died in a car accident and his dad used to beat him." Do-jin says, "Because of him, many people are in pain and are not happy in their lives. His childhood was not good, and society made him a monster. Should we show pity on him?" The reporter says, "A criminal is also a human being. If no one tries to understand them, monsters like him will keep emerging." Do-jin says, "People pointed fingers at me. My whole life has been spent as the son of a serial killer. And if I kill you, will people show me mercy?" The reporter says, "How can you say that?" Do-jin says, "He has ruined many people's lives with his useless thoughts. Get out of here." In the next scene, Jae-yi comes to the cafeteria looking for Do-jin because an officer told her that Do-jin spends most of his time here. After waiting for a long time, Do-jin doesn't come. So her manager tells Jae-yi, "There are many reporters standing outside. We have to go through the back door." Jae-yi is about to get into the car, and the reporters start following her. Do-jin comes in front of the reporters' cars. Jae-yi sees Do-jin and gets emotional. In the next scene, the family members of those whom Do-jin's dad had killed are protesting against his autobiography. A reporter writes in his article that some profit from Yoon-hwae's autobiography will also go to his family. People get Do-jin's mom's number and start bad-mouthing her. Do-jin sees in the news that his dad's autobiography has become a big issue. Victims' families are protesting to stop the book's sales. Do-jin goes to the washroom to freshen up. In a past scene, on the day of Jae-yi's parents' murder, Jae-yi stops the car and comes to Do-jin and hugs him. Jae-yi says to Do-jin, "Don't die. You have to live. Whatever happens, stay alive. It wasn't your fault, so don't die. If you die, I will never forgive you. Promise me, you won't die." Jae-yi's brother starts to take Jae-yi away, and Do-jin says, "I will keep my promise." In the present, Do-jin looks in the mirror and sees his dad behind him, which makes Do-jin angry, and he punches and breaks the mirror saying, "I am not like you." Jae-yi's brother comes to meet Jae-yi. Jae-yi's car breaks down, so they are waiting for a tow truck. Jae-yi's brother comes to them. Seeing her brother, Jae-yi says, "How did you get here?" Jae-yi's brother asks, "Are you okay?" Jae-yi says, "Of course." In the next scene, Do-jin is sitting in the cafeteria looking at Jae-yi's poster. In a past scene, Do-jin's dad is running away after murdering Jae-yi's mom and dad. The police catch him. Do-jin's dad says, "What do you think, you people caught me? My son fooled me. That's why I was caught." When the case goes to trial, Do-jin testifies against his dad because Do-jin was present at that place. In the present, Do-jin goes to give an interview on a TV show and gives the interview on the show saying, "Not a single word of the autobiography my dad wrote is true. He just wants to get people's attention. That book contains his useless thoughts, on which you are wasting your money. My dad is a psychopath who has no emotions inside him. Therefore, I request you not to buy this book." In the next scene, Do-jin's dad and his brother are sitting together in jail. Do-jin's dad says, "Your brother will graduate tomorrow. He is alone without both of us." Do-jin's brother says, "He is not my brother. Didn't you see his interview yesterday? Because of him, our family fell apart. He fell in love with a girl and separated our whole family. Because of that girl's brother, I am in jail, and Do-jin got you arrested." Hearing his brother's words, Do-jin's dad gets angry and grabbing him by the collar says, "You don't know him. You are a useless brother." Saying this, Do-jin's dad leaves. The next day, Do-jin graduates from the police university and receives his degree from the chief. As Do-jin is about to leave, the victims' families arrive. They start throwing eggs at Do-jin because Do-jin had said in the interview, "Everything my dad wrote in the book is a lie." This made the victims' families feel as if Do-jin's dad had not committed any murder, and people grab his collar and start taunting him. Jae-yi is watching Do-jin from a distance and feels very bad for him. Just then, Do-jin's mom and sister arrive. Do-jin's mom says, "What is my son's fault in all this? He just wanted to stop his dad's autobiography. My son is trying to be different from his dad." Hearing Do-jin's mom's words, the victims' families side with them. Do-jin asks his friend to take his mom and sister away from there, and he apologizes to the victims' families and leaves. Do-jin is very sad. Just then, Jae-yi comes and hugs Do-jin, and Do-jin gets emotional, and tears start streaming from his eyes. Jae-yi says to Do-jin, "I told you, if you are in pain, just say it. instead of suppressing it inside you. Do-jin doesn't say anything. He just keeps looking at Jae-yi. Just then, a reporter starts taking their picture. Then Jae-yi's brother arrives and breaks the reporter's camera and pays for it. Jae-yi's brother says to Do-jin, "Get your dirty hands off my sister," and punches Do-jin, saying, "I don't care what kind of person you are. Now, don't you even wander around my sister." In the next scene, Do-jin's mom and sister decide to move to a new place. Do-jin's mom says to him, "Do-jin, if you feel like crying, then cry. Don't stop yourself. You stood firm in such a bad situation. I am proud of you." 3 years later, Do-jin has an injury on his stomach. Do-jin is chasing a criminal to catch him. The criminal grabs a girl and says to Do-jin, "Don't come any closer, I'll kill her." Do-jin doesn't care and starts to catch the criminal. Do-jin gets stabbed in the hand. On the other side, Jae-yi comes to an event. She has become a big celebrity by working in dramas and movies. Do-jin is at home watching Jae-yi's interview, in which the reporter asks Jae-yi, "In the movie, you meet your first love after becoming a college student, and then you both get separated again. Have you experienced something like this in real life?" Jae-yi says, "Yes, I have. I didn't go to college, but everyone has some childhood story." The reporter asks, "Do you have an ideal type?" Jae-yi says, "Someone whose sight brings tears to my eyes." Do-jin is in a meeting with the chief, discussing a criminal. At night, Do-jin and his senior go to the area where the murderer was seen. Do-jin goes to check on a man. His senior is sitting in the car. A man comes to the senior, acting drunk. The senior gets out of the car. The man stabs the senior. Just then, Do-jin also arrives, and Do-jin starts fighting with the criminal. The criminal starts running. Do-jin goes after him. On the other side, Jae-yi receives the Best Actor award at an event. Do-jin catches the criminal, but Do-jin is injured and his condition is deteriorating, so Do-jin decides to go to the hospital. Do-jin goes to the hospital and says to the staff, "A man came here a while ago who was stabbed in the stomach. Where is he?" The staff tells him that he is currently in surgery. Do-jin says, "I need treatment myself. I have a cut on my hand." The staff says, "You will have to wait." Do-jin says, "I haven't slept, so I will go to sleep. When the doctor is free, please wake me up." Do-jin falls asleep on a chair, and when he opens his eyes, he's on a bed in the emergency room. He's about to get up and leave, but he sees Jae-yi on the bed opposite him, lies back down, and falls asleep while looking at Jae-yi. Just then, a nurse says to Do-jin, "Stitches have been applied to the wounds on your stomach and hand." Saying this, she leaves. Do-jin gets up and checks the bed next to him, but it is empty. Do-jin thinks, "What I saw, was it a dream?" Do-jin sees the news on a TV outside, which reports that Jae-yi fainted at the award ceremony. That's why she was taken to the hospital. Do-jin gets worried hearing this and starts looking for Jae-yi in the hospital. Jae-yi is about to leave the hospital. Reporters surround her and start asking questions. "What happened to you? And why did you faint?" Jae-yi gets troubled by their questions. Just then, Do-jin comes there and holds Jae-yi, asking her, "Are you okay?" Jae-yi nods and says, "Yes, I'm fine." Tears start to fall from Jae-yi's eyes. Seeing her, tears also come to Do-jin's eyes because Jae-yi had said in her interview, "My ideal type is someone whose sight brings tears to my eyes." Jae-yi gets worried seeing the blood on Do-jin's clothes, but because of the media, she doesn't ask Do-jin. The reporter who had come there sees Do-jin like this and asks, "Jae-yi, who is this?" Jae-yi says to Do-jin, "You are my fan. Thank you for worrying about me." Do-jin says, "Yes, I am a fan. I'm sorry for doing this." In the next scene, Do-jin's chief takes him home and says to Do-jin, "You should take care of yourself. The one we have caught will confess to all the murders." Do-jin says, "He is not the murderer. We haven't seen his face on CCTV, and the murderer's height on CCTV doesn't match the man we have caught. Don't say anything to the press yet." The chief says, "Okay, take a few days off and rest." Do-jin comes home. Do-jin's mom sees that Do-jin is injured and says, "How did this happen?" Do-jin says, "I fell down." Do-jin's mom says, "Can someone get so injured by falling? Tell me, who was it? Or quit this job." Do-jin says, "Mom, can you hug me for a little while?" Mom says, "Do-jin, what is the matter after all?" Do-jin explains, "Today I met someone I shouldn't have met." Mom starts to calm him down. In the next scene, Jae-yi's brother comes home, and Jae-yi hugs him. Jae-yi wanted to tell her brother everything, but she doesn't, because her brother would get angry hearing it. Jae-yi is in her room, and it is shown that when Jae-yi went to the waiting room, there was a gift placed there. Jae-yi opened the gift. Inside the gift was a blood-stained hammer, seeing which Jae-yi fainted. Jae-yi is thinking about who sent that box and why. Just then, it starts to rain, and Jae-yi comes out onto the terrace and starts to worry, thinking about Do-jin. In the past, after Do-jin testifies against his dad in court, his mom comes to meet him. Do-jin's mom says to Do-jin, "Come with me." Do-jin doesn't give any answer. Do-jin's mom says, "Are you angry because of what I said to you that day and that I left you alone? Please forgive me. You, me, and So-jin will live together." Do-jin says to his mom, "Mom, I am not coming, so you should leave and never come back." Do-jin's mom becomes sad. Do-jin says to the officer, "Sir, please take me to the facilities." The officer starts to take him, and Do-jin's mom hugs him from behind and says, "I know you think you will become like your dad, but I don't care. Come with me. I will protect you." Hearing all this, Do-jin starts to cry, and his mom hugs him. In the present, Do-jin is working at his mom's hotel, and his mom starts scolding him for working because his wound has not healed. Just then, his chief comes to meet Do-jin, and Do-jin's mom says to the chief, "Do-jin keeps getting hurt because of you." Do-jin says, "Mom, it's not his fault at all." The chief says, "I was just missing him, so I came to see him." Do-jin's mom leaves, and the chief says to Do-jin, "Why does your mom always shout at me?" Do-jin starts laughing and asks him to sit down. The chief shows Do-jin a picture and tells him, "This hammer was delivered to Jae-yi. Her manager will file a case tomorrow. I have given this case to another officer, so when they come tomorrow, just ignore them." Do-jin says, "Sir, please give this case to me." The chief doesn't agree, but Do-jin convinces him. The next day, Do-jin comes to the police station, and Jae-yi is also there. Do-jin says to Jae-yi, "Hello, I am in charge of your case." Jae-yi says, "I know, I saw your name on the nameplate. By the way, are you okay? You don't look fit." Do-jin says, "I am perfectly fine. Leave these things. You tell me, was this the box you received?" Do-jin opens the box and sees a hammer inside. Jae-yi says, "Who sent this, and why? I need to know." Do-jin says, "If I handle this case, will you have any problem?" Jae-yi says, "No, I don't have any problem." Do-jin says, "We will first test the blood on the hammer and check for fingerprints on the box. All this might take a lot of time, but we will find out who sent this box. When we catch him, we will let you know. I promise you, I will protect you." Jae-yi says, "You don't need to do that. I can protect myself. I hope you will take care of yourself too." Do-jin says, "You were surprised to see me suddenly at the hospital that day." Jae-yi says, Do-jin watches the CCTV footage of the award ceremony and finds out that the box was brought by a delivery boy. Do-jin investigates the man he had caught, and he reveals, "The one who told me to place that box had a smile just like yours. He was also in jail with me. I was released a few days ago. He said he would destroy everyone around you." Do-jin sees in the CCTV that the murderer is wearing white shoes, and his brother also liked white shoes. Do-jin asks an officer to find out about his brother. Do-jin goes to investigate the delivery man who delivered that box. Do-jin asks for the sender's address. The delivery man tells the address, and Do-jin is shocked to hear it because that address is where Do-jin and Jae-yi used to live 12 years ago. In the next scene, reporter Park meets Do-jin's dad and says to him, "Why did you and your son separate?" "It happened because of chapter 12, that night, of your autobiography. That night, Do-jin came to save his friend, and you backed down. Did you read the article?" Do-jin and Jae-yi met again. Now they keep bumping into each other, and a weapon was sent to Jae-yi as a threat. When she saw it, she fainted. "And I looked at your autobiography and noticed one thing. It was the hammer." Yoon-hui is surprised to hear this. Do-jin comes to Jae-yi's shooting set to talk to her about something, and Jae-yi is doing a confession scene. Do-jin doesn't feel good seeing this. Jae-yi sees Do-jin and goes to a side room to talk to him. Do-jin tells Jae-yi where the hammer was sent from. Jae-yi is surprised to hear the address. Do-jin shows Jae-yi a photo of his brother and says to Jae-yi, "This is my older brother. He has been released from jail, and I suspect him. If you see him anywhere, run away from there because he is very dangerous." Do-jin puts a watch on Jae-yi's wrist and says, "Always keep this with you. With this, you can call the police and I can track you." Both get emotional. Do-jin says, "I'm sorry." Jae-yi says, "You are still a fool. I told you it wasn't your fault." In the next scene, Do-jin's brother, Hyun, comes to meet his mom and sister. Mom and his sister are surprised to see Hyun. Seeing them surprised, Hyun gets angry and leaves. Do-jin gets a phone call that the blood on the hammer has matched the DNA of a victim. Do-jin gets angry hearing this, that his brother has also become a murderer. Jae-yi gets a message from the director that, "I need to discuss something about the script with you. We are on the set. You should come here too." Jae-yi calls the director, but his phone is unreachable. Jae-yi goes to the set, but no one is there, and the lights go out and someone locks the door. Jae-yi gets very scared. Seeing the light on in the room opposite, she goes into the room, and Jae-yi remembers the day her mom and dad were killed, and she was about to be killed too. Just then, Hyun comes there, and he has a hammer in his hand. Seeing this, Jae-yi gets scared and starts crying. A little while ago, Jae-yi's manager was called to the police station to be told whose blood was on the hammer. Do-jin is watching the CCTV footage of Jae-yi's set, in which he sees Hyun. Just then, he thinks of Jae-yi, so Do-jin checks her location, and Jae-yi is going somewhere. Do-jin asks Jae-yi's manager, and he says Jae-yi is at home. Hearing this, Do-jin gets worried because, according to the location, Jae-yi is going somewhere. Do-jin goes to Jae-yi's location, and the set's door is locked. Do-jin breaks the set's door with his car. There is a light on in the room opposite, so Do-jin goes there and sees Jae-yi, who is very scared. Do-jin says to Jae-yi, "Don't be scared, I'm here now." Jae-yi is trembling with fear, so Do-jin hugs her. Jae-yi calms down and falls asleep. When the manager arrives, there are many officers on the set, and he goes to see Jae-yi, and she is sleeping peacefully next to Do-jin. Do-jin takes Jae-yi to her house. Jae-yi is in her room, and the manager comes to Do-jin and says, "Thank you for what you did. Meet Jae-yi before you leave." Do-jin comes to Jae-yi. Jae-yi is pretending to be fine, but Do-jin sees her and understands. He says to Jae-yi, "Should I not go?" Jae-yi shakes her head and says, "Yes, stay." Do-jin sits on the bed next to Jae-yi, and then they both fall asleep. But Jae-yi's eyes open, and she starts to touch Do-jin's face, so Do-jin also wakes up. Jae-yi says to Do-jin, "Do you still feel sorry? I told you it wasn't your fault. So, will you keep feeling sorry? Is that why you fulfilled the promise you made to me?" Do-jin says, "I feel sorry, not because I made a promise." Jae-yi says, "Why didn't you fulfill your promise to find me?" Do-jin says, "I feel sorry. That's why I didn't look for you. Anyway, you can use me however you want. When you need me, and when you get tired of me, just leave me." Jae-yi says, "Why are you talking like that? I said it wasn't your fault. I was able to meet you because of what your brother did today. I am very happy to meet you." Do-jin gets emotional hearing this. When Jae-yi falls asleep, Do-jin comes out and starts apologizing to the photos of Jae-yi's mom and dad. Jae-yi's brother comes home. He sees Do-jin in front of him and goes to Jae-yi. Seeing Jae-yi sleeping on the bed, he goes to Do-jin and says, "Get off this case." Do-jin says, "I am the only person who can stop my brother, so I am not going to leave this case." Do-jin is at home when he gets a call from Hyun. Hyun says to Do-jin, "Did you have fun? Just wait a little longer. I will destroy everything of yours. All the people around you, especially Jae-yi and her brother, I will cut them into pieces." Do-jin says to Hyun, "If you do anything to Jae-yi or anyone else, I don't know what I will do to you." Hyun starts laughing and says, "Let's see," and hangs up the phone. Jae-yi's brother is about to go to work, and Jae-yi stops him and says, "I know you are angry that I didn't tell you anything." Jae-yi's brother says, "I'm not angry. I don't want to lose you. I'm scared. Don't leave me alone." Jae-yi says, "I'm not going anywhere. We are family and will always be together." Hearing this makes her brother feel good. In the next scene at night, Jae-yi's friend, who is a famous actress, is coming to meet Jae-yi, so she asks for her address. Jae-yi comes outside to pick up her friend and sees Do-jin standing under a tree. Do-jin remembers the day Jae-yi confessed to him, and they were both sitting under a tree, and it was raining. Do-jin is surprised to see Jae-yi. Jae-yi comes to Do-jin and covers him with her umbrella, asking, "What are you doing here? It's raining, and you don't even have an umbrella. Did you come to see me? When are you going back?" Do-jin says, "I'll leave soon." Just then, her friend arrives and asks Jae-yi, "Who is this?" Jae-yi tells her friend he is a detective and is on duty. Jae-yi's friend says, "You should come inside with us too. You can protect her inside the house as well." Do-jin agrees and comes inside. Jae-yi gives Do-jin a towel because Do-jin was soaked from the rain. After Jae-yi's friend leaves, Do-jin sees her out and comes to put the umbrella in the store when Hyun attacks Do-jin and says, "Where is Jae-yi? Tell her I will kill her in front of your eyes, then your life will be ruined just like mine." Do-jin asks Hyun, "Why are you doing this?" Hyun says, "When I was in jail, you did the same thing. You broke our entire family because of that Jae-yi. Jae-yi's family got attached to you, which Dad didn't like. If they hadn't done that, they would be alive today. You got Dad arrested to save Jae-yi, and if you hadn't done that, our family wouldn't have been destroyed." Do-jin tells Hyun to stop all this, but Hyun says, "I'm not going to stop." They both start fighting. Hyun says, "Dad was all I had. You snatched him away from me." Do-jin says, "Our dad is a murderer." Hyun says, "So what? He is our dad." Do-jin says, "That's why it's so hard to forgive him. Many innocent people lost their lives because of him. I'm sorry. I broke our family, but Dad never protected us. You know that too." Just then, Jae-yi comes and says, "Do-jin, are you inside?" Do-jin tells Jae-yi not to come in. Then a fight breaks out between them, and Jae-yi gets very scared. Hyun tries to go outside with a knife to kill Jae-yi, but Do-jin stops him. Hyun accidentally stabs Do-jin. Hyun gets scared. What have I done? He was angry at Do-jin, but he was his brother. Hyun doesn't know what to do, so he runs away from there. When Jae-yi comes inside, she gets scared seeing Do-jin's condition and calls an ambulance to come there. In the next scene, Do-jin is undergoing surgery in the hospital, and Jae-yi is sitting outside. Jae-yi had called and told Do-jin's mom, so Do-jin's mom and his sister come there. Do-jin's mom asks, "How did all this happen?" Jae-yi says, "Please forgive me. I was right there, but I couldn't do anything. Do-jin has been stabbed." Do-jin's sister asks, "Who did it?" Jae-yi says, "Hyun did all this." Jae-yi is sitting alone when Do-jin's mom comes to her and starts cleaning the blood on her hand and apologizes to Jae-yi. Jae-yi says, "Please don't apologize, it's not your fault." Do-jin regains consciousness and Do-jin's mom and sister are with him. Do-jin asks them, "Where is Jae-yi?" They tell him that she is perfectly fine. Jae-yi's brother comes to the hospital to pick up Jae-yi and starts taking her home. 12 years later, Do-jin's mom comes to meet his dad and says many things to him. "What have you made your son into?" He stabbed Do-jin. Yoon-hoi laughs and says, "Looks like he has become sensible now. He forced you to come here after 12 years. Do-jin's mom says, "You treated both your sons the same way your father treated you. Because of your crimes, Do-jin is still suffering." Yoon-hoi says, "I miss Do-jin a lot. I hope he comes to see me someday." Do-jin's mom says, "Do-jin is not your son. He grew up on his own. He doesn't need you." Saying this, she leaves. Do-jin's mom comes to Do-jin at the hospital and says to him, "You are a gift to me. I have never received such a gift in my entire life." Do-jin feels very good hearing this. On the other side, in Korea, reporter Park breaks the news that the man who murdered Jae-yi's mom and dad, his elder son, attacked Jae-yi, and Jae-yi's secret love is Yoon-hoi's younger son, Do-jin. Do-jin comes outside for a walk. Just then, Jae-yi comes there, and Do-jin says to Jae-yi, "Why did you come here?" Jae-yi says, "I was worried about you." Do-jin says, "You shouldn't have come here. There are many people here." They both go to the room, and Jae-yi says to Do-jin, "What you did to save me, you will never do that again." Do-jin nods and says, "Yes, I won't." Jae-yi says, "You're lying. If it happens again?" Do-jin says, "It will never happen again." Jae-yi says, "What did we do wrong? We have been going through a very tough time since the age of 14. I think the biggest mistake was that we both liked each other." Do-jin says, "You know I'm very scared. It's my fault that you lost everything you had. Now, you might lose what you have too." Hyun comes to meet a man. That man says to Hyun, "Father told me about you, that you are very weak and have no right to be called his son." Hyun had seen that man on Jae-yi's set. The one who scared and threatened Jae-yi was not Hyun, but that man. That man used to work with Do-jin's dad in jail. That man says to Hyun, "I went to the restaurant. I saw your mom. She is very beautiful, and your sister is very cute." Hearing this, Hyun gets angry and leaves. In the next scene, Do-jin is thinking about the things Jae-yi said. Jae-yi is watching the news in a hotel when the doorbell rings. When Jae-yi opens the door, Do-jin is standing there. Do-jin says to Jae-yi, "What you said in the hospital, can we live like that for just one day in our lives?" Jae-yi says, "Have you gone mad? You are injured. Why did you come here?" Do-jin says, "Just use me for just one day." Jae-yi agrees, which makes Do-jin happy. Jae-yi hugs Do-jin. Due to the news of Jae-yi and Do-jin's relationship, Jae-yi's image is tarnished, and she is removed from the dramas and movies she was supposed to work in. Do-jin's dad's sentence ends, and reporter Park comes to meet Yoon-hoi, calling him a monster and disgusting. This makes Do-jin's dad angry, and he starts to attack the reporter, but the guards save her. A month later, Do-jin has completely recovered and is getting ready to meet Jae-yi. Jae-yi is also getting ready because they had promised a month ago to spend a day together. Do-jin comes to Jae-yi's house to pick her up. Jae-yi keeps looking at Do-jin, which makes him feel uncomfortable, and he stops the car. Jae-yi asks, "Do-jin, have you dated any girl besides me?" Do-jin is surprised to hear this. Jae-yi looks at Do-jin and understands that he never has. Jae-yi keeps looking at Do-jin, and he says to her, "Look ahead." Jae-yi says, "I'm not going to look ahead. Today, I will only look at you all day." Do-jin starts looking at Jae-yi and smiles, which makes Jae-yi feel uncomfortable, and she starts looking ahead. Jae-yi takes Do-jin to a place where there are many trees and says to him, "When I used to miss you, I would come here. All the trees here reminded me of you." Then they both go to the beach and go for a walk. In the evening, Do-jin and Jae-yi go to a park and enjoy themselves a lot. When they go to eat ice cream, Do-jin gets a call and goes to the side. Just then, two girls come to get ice cream and recognize Jae-yi and start taking pictures, which scares Jae-yi, and she goes and hides somewhere. Do-jin's colleague tells him that his dad tried to kill reporter Park, so the reporter has filed a case against Do-jin's dad, and tomorrow they will take him for investigation. Do-jin's gaze falls on the ice cream counter, and Jae-yi is not there. Seeing Do-jin searching for her like a madman, Jae-yi understands that he is very worried about her. Do-jin finds Jae-yi and hugs her. asking, "Are you okay?" Jae-yi says, "Yes, I'm fine." Hyun comes to meet reporter Park. In the next scene, Do-jin and Jae-yi are about to go back when Do-jin tries to kiss Jae-yi but can't. Do-jin gets a call from his colleague who tells him, "Don't come to the office tomorrow. Reporter Park has told everyone about your and Jae-yi's relationship and also about your dad 12 years ago." Jae-yi sees on her mobile what reporter Park has said. When Do-jin comes to the car, she says to him, "You said you were scared." "To be honest, I'm scared too, so be careful. Don't get hurt again. I won't get sick either." Then she says, "Goodbye," and leaves. Jae-yi is at home but wants to be with Do-jin. Do-jin is going home and is sad. Do-jin remembers that Jae-yi had said, "When you are going through a difficult time, come to me. I will always like you." Do-jin turns the car around and comes to Jae-yi saying, "You said that when I am broken inside, I should come to you. I am broken inside. This is very difficult for me. Whenever I see you, it hurts me, and when I don't see you, my mind goes crazy. I go mad. I can't stop myself from saying that I still like you very much." Hearing this, Jae-yi gets emotional and kisses Do-jin, telling him, "I like you too." They both lie down on the bed and start talking about many things. The next day, Do-jin comes to the office and some reporters are there and start asking Do-jin questions. Do-jin doesn't answer them. Jae-yi doesn't get work in movies because everyone knows she is dating Do-jin. Do-jin finds out that the chief has gone to the prosecutor's office for Yoon-hoi's investigation. Yoon-hoi is in the investigation room when Moo-won comes there. Yoon-hoi says to Moo-won, "I saw you in the courtroom. You were with Jae-yi. You are her older brother." Moo-won asks Yoon-hoi questions about the case, and Yoon-hoi says, "You lost your parents, and you also lost the ones who adopted you. I feel bad for you." Moo-won says, "You tried to kill your own son. Do-jin is not like you. Do-jin is your son, but he tried to kill you. You lost to a 16-year-old boy. I feel bad for you." Yoon-hoi starts laughing and says, "You lost something that was very precious to you twice. What can you lose the third time? Aren't you scared? Don't you love your sister? Why did you let my son come near her? Do-jin is my son, and he will take my place, and I don't think you care what he will do with your sister. So tell me, will the third time be Jae-yi whom you will lose?" Hearing this, Moo-won gets angry and starts to hit Yoon-hoi, but some officers grab Moo-won. In the next scene, Do-jin has some work with the chief, so he comes to the prosecutor's office. Just then, they are taking Do-jin's dad from there, and he sees Do-jin from the bus, which makes him feel very good. Do-jin is very happy with the chief, which he doesn't like. Do-jin gets a call that reporter Park has been murdered. Hearing this, Do-jin is shocked. Do-jin goes to the crime scene, and the murderer has left the weapon there, which is a hammer. Seeing the method of murder, Do-jin understands that a copycat of his dad has committed this murder. Do-jin checks the CCTV footage, in which two men enter the building, but their faces are not visible. In the next scene, Hyun had come to talk to reporter Park about his brother. Just then, the doorbell rings, and Hyun goes and hides in the room. The reporter is saying a bit too much about Do-jin in the news, which is causing problems for Do-jin. So, Do-jin's dad has the reporter killed by Yoon-seong. Hyun comes out after hearing reporter Park scream, but reporter Park is already dead. Yoon-seong knows that Hyun is there, but Seong doesn't say anything to him and leaves. Hyun finds a hidden camera in the reporter's house in which everything is recorded, how Seong committed the murder. Do-jin is worried about Jae-yi, so he comes to her, in case the murderer does something to her too. Jae-yi says to Do-jin, "Nothing happened to me, don't worry." Do-jin gets a call from an officer who tells him that Seong, the criminal, lives in reporter Park's area and he was in the same jail as his dad, and he spent a lot of time with Yoon-hoi in jail and was released 2 months ago. The officer gives Do-jin the address of Seong's older brother. Do-jin says to Jae-yi, "I have to go for some very important work. You take care of yourself, and if something bad happens, call me." Then he hugs Jae-yi. Right there, Moo-won is watching them from his car, but he doesn't feel good seeing all this. In the next scene, Do-jin comes to Seong's brother's house and rings the doorbell. There is no response. Then Do-jin looks around the house, and just then, Seong comes there and starts fighting with Do-jin. Do-jin catches him and says to him, "It's nice to meet you, Seong." Seong gets scared hearing his name, wondering how Do-jin knows his name. Seong attacks Do-jin, and a child is passing by. Seong grabs him and starts to hit him, but Do-jin saves the child. So Seong runs away from there. Do-jin meets Seong's dad and says, "We need to question your son." Seong's dad says, "Whatever you want to talk about, you can talk to my lawyer. I will send him tomorrow." Jae-yi is missing Do-jin, so she comes to the police station to meet him. Then they both enjoy a lot together. Do-jin tells Jae-yi that reporter Park was killed by Yoon-hoi's copycat, and says to Jae-yi, "We both promise not to hide anything from each other. We will share everything." The next day, Seong comes to the police station with his lawyer because the police have no evidence against him. Do-jin asks Seong many questions about Yoon-hoi. Do Jin says, "Why did you meet Yoon Hui several times after getting out of jail?" Seong says, "He is a very good person. You are his son. I saw a photo of you two online. Don't you miss him?" Do Jin says, "I met someone yesterday. What he did was very funny. It wasn't fun because he tried to hurt a child. After all, what are you without Yoon Hui?" Seong gets angry and leaves. At night, Do Jin's sister, So Jin, is going home when Seong attacks her. Just then, Hyun arrives and starts fighting with Seong. During this, Hyun gets quite injured, and Seong runs away from there. So Jin tells Hyun to go to the hospital, but Hyun refuses and says, "Take care of yourself and mom, and tell Do Jin to take care of himself." And he leaves. So Jin comes home and tells Do Jin and her mom what happened to her and what Hyun did and said. She tells everything. The next day, they are taking Yoon Hui to the prosecutor's office again. On the way, the car has an accident, and Yoon Hui had this accident arranged. Then everyone is brought to the hospital. A nurse helps Yoon Hui to open his handcuffs because that lady likes Yoon Hui. Yoon Hui kills the officers and escapes. When the news of Yoon Hui's escape comes, everyone gets worried. Hyun comes to meet Moo Won and gives him the camera in which it is recorded how and who killed reporter Park. Hyun says to Moo Won, Do Jin is not like his dad because he didn't care about his own life to save Jae-yi. Do Jin is investigating to catch Seong and his dad, but he is not finding anything. Moo Won meets Do Jin and gives him the camera that Yoon had given him. Moo Won says to Do Jin, "Catch the real killer," and asks, "What are you going to do about Yoon Hui?" Do Jin says, "I will catch him and will protect Jae-yi too." Do Jin is scared that his dad might harm Jae-yi, so he comes to stay at Jae-yi's house. In the next scene, Do Jin finds the location of Seong's car and gets worried because Jae-yi also lives in the same area. Jae-yi is parking her car when Seong attacks her. Just then, Do Jin also arrives there and catches him. At night, Do Jin's mom and his chief leave food outside Jae-yi's house. Do Jin's chief calls Do Jin and says, "We have left the food outside, you can come and get it." Do Jin comes to get the food, but the chief is not there. So he thinks the chief might have gone a little further and starts to go to meet him. The chief is leaving when Do Jin's dad kills him on the way. Do Jin and his mom were very close to the chief, so Do Jin's dad doesn't like this. Do Jin comes looking for the chief and finds his body. The chief was close to Do Jin's mom, so Do Jin's mom is very sad about the chief. She is sitting outside the house and crying. Just then, Do Jin's dad arrives, and seeing him, Do Jin's mom gets scared. Do Jin is angry because of the chief's death because he was like a father to him, and he asks Seong about his dad, where he is. Seong doesn't know where Do Jin's dad is, but he tells him that a lady helped him escape. In the next scene, Do Jin's dad has tied up his mom because she was very close to the chief. Do Jin's dad is about to kill his mom. Just then, Hyun arrives and tries to save his mom, and he gets quite injured. So Jin is at the funeral when she calls Do Jin and tells him that her mom is missing. Do Jin says, "She might have gone home. I'll send officers to check the house, and I'll get there too." Do Jin's dad is about to kill Hyun and his mom. Just then, the police arrive, and he escapes from there. When Do Jin arrives there, he sees his dad running away, which worries Do Jin a lot. He quickly goes inside the house, and Hyun and his mom are in an injured state. They are both taken to the hospital and are saved. A few days later, Jae-yi is going to her parents' memorial when Yoon Hui kidnaps her and calls Do Jin from Jae-yi's phone to tell him, "I have kidnapped Jae-yi." Do Jin calls Moo Won and tells him everything and asks him to find Jae-yi. A lady comes to pick up Do Jin, the one who had helped Yoon Hui, and she brings Do Jin to a dog farm. In the next scene, Moo Won tells Hyun in the hospital that Yoon Hui has kidnapped Jae-yi and asks where he might have taken her. Hyun tells Moo Won some places. Do Jin reaches the dog farm and asks Yoon Hui, "Where is Jae-yi?" Yoon Hui says, "I have killed her." Do Jin's dad is provoking him to make him angry so that Do Jin will kill him in anger and become a murderer like him. Do Jin understands that he hasn't killed Jae-yi, so he controls himself. The lady is with Jae-yi. Jae-yi says many things to the lady about Yoon Hui, which makes the lady angry, and she is about to give Jae-yi an injection to make her unconscious, but Jae-yi injects the lady with it. Jae-yi quickly calls the police from the lady's phone and asks them to come to that place. Moo Won comes there with many officers. There is a fight between Do Jin and Yoon Hui. Do Jin is controlling himself, but Yoon Hui hits Do Jin a lot. Just then, Jae-yi arrives. Yoon Hui is about to kill Jae-yi, but Do Jin starts fighting with him. After a while, Moo Won comes with the police and arrests Yoon Hui. Jae-yi is happy with Do Jin, and Do Jin takes care of her, so Moo Won accepts him. A few months later, everything is fine. There is no danger to anyone, and Do Jin starts to live happily. Jae gets a main lead role in a movie, and her popularity starts to increase. Do Jin gets a promotion for getting Yoon Hoi caught. He becomes a senior inspector. Everyone who supported Yoon Hoi is punished. Hyun also made a mistake, so he is also punished, but this time his family will wait for his release. Do Jin and Jae start living like normal people and live like a couple, and they do everything they had never done before and start enjoying themselves. And with this, the drama ends with a happy ending.